Hi, my name is Lois, and welcome to my channel, Lois Codes, where I talk about tips, tricks, cool finds, and really everything else I'm learning on my journey. If you like what you see today, don't forget to like and subscribe to get the latest content. So starting out, I would use console.log a lot. Even during the other parts of my career, I would be using it pretty much everywhere in my code. But I found out later that there are other and even better ways to debug. And today I'm actually going to focus this video on the tricks and the tools that I've learned along my journey to better debug my program. Just so you know that I'll be using Chrome throughout this video, and that's really what I develop in the most. So a lot of the tools are going to be available in Chrome for sure, but they could also be available in other browsers. All right, let's begin. When I want to open the DevTools, I right-click, Inspect, and yes, there are other ways, faster ways to get to the DevTools. But I like this way because the Elements tab opens first and it takes me directly to where I right-clicked, so I can properly inspect that element if I'm having any issues with it. The Console tab outputs info, warnings, and errors, and not all errors are informative, but the output can give us a clue. If we click here on the file name, it can better inform us to what caused the issue. It'll take us directly to the file in the Sources tab. So my lazy approach to writing CSS for a large project, I create a new class under the Elements tab, add my styles, and then click on the Inspector style sheet to get the full list of changes I made. I'll copy it and then paste it into my CSS. To check the responsiveness and the speed of our app, we can use the Toggle Device Toolbar button to inspect the responsiveness and the speed of our application. You know about the log method, and maybe even about error, warn, and info, the standard printouts to the console, but there are others that can be just as helpful. Use group and group in methods to group console messages together. Group indents to create an additional level, and group in outdents by closing the last created level. The table method is great for formatting an array of objects. Time and time in methods lets us see how long an operation takes to run so we can improve while we work. Time starts the timer based on the label, and time in ends the timer based on the label. With the trace method, you can view stacks of calls made to reach the line where the console.trace method is called. Simply put debugger in your code. I'm using VS Code in Chrome to test this, and you can step through the code. What makes it even better is that you can see what data is stored in the variables. Depending upon what you are learning, whether it's a framework or a library, or even if it's good old-fashioned JavaScript, there are tools and extensions that you can use to make development easier. Here's a list of some of the tools that I use, like React Developer Tools, which allows me to expand all the components that have been rendered on the page. The Redux Dev Tools, which allows me to see what state has been changed. And Z-Context, which allows me to view the stacking context and the Z-index of each element on the page. Those are all the tricks, tools, and extensions I use to improve my debugging skills. If you have any suggestions on any tricks, tools, and extensions you found on your journey, please post a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon, but until then, go forth and push code.